up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today I have an exciting collab for you all. So I was inspired by Dr. Ash and her makeup and McGrath Beauty in the Frizz to create this video. Now they do these palette rotations in their collection where they rotate palettes in their collection so that way they don't have to buy every new release that comes out. And I was inspired by them to come up with this holiday edition of it, because y'all know they try to spit holiday palettes out of us left and right. So I asked them, because y'all know how I am, when I'm inspired by people, I try to give them their flowers while they're here. So I asked them if they would collab with me on this video since they were the ones who inspired it. And I was so happy when they told me that they would. So today's video is called Fake the Feel Everyday Palettes with Holiday Color Stories. And I got the title from UOMA Beauty. She always talks about how you fake the feeling of a palette with other palettes you already have or singles, so she does that too. So that's where I got the name from. So I was inspired by UOMA Beauty with the name, and then I was inspired by Dr. Ash and her makeup with how I was going to go about picking the palettes, because they do a palette rotation. Now we know I don't do a palette rotation, but I would love to do a palette rotation maybe sometime next year, depending on, you know, like how much time I have on my hands to do it with. Y'all know I only do videos 2 days a week, so I don't have a lot of time to do it, but I always love the fact that they make time and have time to do that, and that's what inspired this video. So let me explain who Dr. Ash and her makeup is and Beauty in the Frizz is, just in case you don't know. But you must be living under a rock if you don't, because I mean Ashley and Kara are everywhere. Okay, so Dr. Ash and her makeup I've actually done a collab with before. The first collab I ever did on YouTube was with Dr. Ash and her makeup. If you all remember, I did brands I never thought I'd be checking for, and I watched Ashley's video and she was talking about if you had told her that she was ever gonna be checking for BH Cosmetics, she'd have told you crazy. So when she said that, I was like, video idea, because I was like her, like, who checking for BH? I mean, I liked BH when they did collabs with It's My Ray Ray and all that. I was all for it. I was here for it. It was a vibe. I was like, yes, give it to me, bring it on. But I never thought I'd be checking for the brand, but like every time they came out with something, I was reaching, snatching, grabbing, trying to fight in the line for people to get out my way to get it. So I reached out to her originally and asked her to do the video with me, and she was so gracious then and did it with me, and she's doing one again with me today. So Dr. Ash is actually here in Chicago with me. I found Dr. Ash through her Pat McGrath content, because she's like me and loves mother, and I ended up watching some other videos from her. I was like, this chick's pretty cool. And she's from Chicago, so I'm definitely down. So I hit that subscribe button with quickness, and so should you. Ashley gives great thorough details. She does 3 and 4 eye looks in one video, and she's just an overall wonderful lady to follow, so you need to go ahead and do so. Now what I love about Beauty in the Frizz or Kara is I love her makeup and mimosas. I think they're so cool. She also, like Ashley, goes into great detail with her reviews and gives you several eye looks as well. And since they're on the lighter end of the spectrum for myself, I feel like it'd be good for you if you like the type of content I do, but sometimes you need a foundation review, or if you want to see how eyeshadow color looks on your true skin tone as opposed to mine, it would be good to follow those two ladies. Plus, what I love about Kara's videos, her sons are always popping up in the videos. I mean, I don't care what's going on. One of them is going to show their face. August is going to be in the video. I don't care. He is going to be there. And I just think it's so cute how she embraces them to come in and like be a part. She'll be like, August is going to show us this. So Marky's going to come and do this. So I just love how she always brings her family into the effect with the videos. I think it gives her own personal touch to her content, which is another thing I love about her. But I definitely think you should check out both those ladies' videos. If either one of them has a code to either one of the products we're going to talk about, I will definitely be shouting it out. Y'all know I'm shouting out anybody who has a code. We need to help each other out here as small content creators, and, you know, get the coins when you can. So if they have a code, I will shout it out. I'll try to remember to link it down below with their videos as well. So again, thank you so much, Kara and Ash, for doing this video with me. I am so honored and happy that you all agreed to do it. Now let's get into it. So okay, y'all, so let's start off with the Norvina, ABH Norvina Collection Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 3. If y'all remember this one, then you remember what it looks like. It has lots of reds and greens in it. And of course, you know, when you think of Christmas, people usually come up with red and green palettes. So I figured this would be a good one to start off with, just as, you know, a everyday palette that you can pull out of your collection and still get a Christmas look out without actually buying a Christmas look. I mean, buying a Christmas palette or a holiday palette, you still get the vibes of the holiday, which is reds and greens, and there's this nice blue dual chroma shade, and then there's a pressed glitter, and then there's another like white that turns to red dual chroma shade that you can use with all these mattes. So To me, that's a perfect example of an everyday palette where you can fake the feel of the holidays, because it's giving holiday colors and vibes, but it didn't come out during the holidays, and since it has cute little cherries on it, you can still think of it as an everyday palette. Next, I have the Arcana palette. Now, I don't know how you all feel about this one, but I was thinking about the way Oden's Eye did the Christmas Eve palettes and then the Merry Christmas palettes. That's why I picked this one, because I feel like it gives the vibes of that when you think about it, because if you cover up this side, it gives the vibes of the Christmas Eve palette, but then when you cover up this side, it gives the vibes of the what is it, the Merry Christmas palette, because if you all remember, it had lots of reds and greens and a couple of these shades, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me, but I feel like this is a good palette for that too. So that way, if you want to do the Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas vibe like they had with the Oden's Eye palette that you missed out on, or one of the two Oden's Eye palettes you missed out on, you get type 2 for the price of one. Now obviously it's not exact, but again, it gives everyday, it's an everyday palette that gives you the option to do those kinds of looks without having to go out and buy one. The next one is from one of my favorite brands. It's Unearthly Cosmetics. You can actually use my girl Beauty and Frizz's code FrizzFace to get a discount on this palette. Now, unfortunately, they discontinued this palette, but you can still use her code to get any other palette. And I have one other palette that I'm going to show that they actually do still have in stock, and they do make, that gives holiday vibes in my personal opinion. So this is the Poison Apple. This is what she looks like on the inside. As you can see, it's giving holiday vibes as well. You got your greens and your blues. Sorry, you got your greens and your reds, and then you have some nice like shifting shades. This is a shifting shade, this is a shifting shade, this is a shifting shade, then you got this bright green, and then you still have, this bright green, and you still have a couple of like neutral-esque shades, like you got this poppy yellow, and then you have this neutral shade right here. So you can get somewhat everyday looks out of this and still get the Christmas feel without paying, you know, like a high price. I debated about putting this one in here, but I was like, if you already have it in your collection, then you might want to look at it as opposed to. So that's why sometimes I'll still do it, even though I know it's discontinued, and newer people who are coming can't necessarily buy it. But if you're OG who has it already, then, you know, just reach into it, girl. It's giving Christmas vibes, so just, you know, accept the Christmas vibes, even though it's not giving you the Christmas packaging. I mean, if you want to go there, buy you a color book at the Dollar Tree, color in a holiday picture and slap it on top of there for the holidays to convince yourself it's a holiday palette. That's what you need to do, girl. Hey, I'm not here to judge. I'm just trying to give ideas on how to save you some money with the stuff you already have. So this is the one I was talking about, Strawberry Milkshake. You can use Frizz Face on this palette, and it gives holiday vibes to me as well. Because again, what you got the greens, you got the reds. If you just cover up the pinks at the top, I mean, it's giving you holiday vibes, girl. In the 6-pan, you got all these reds and all these greens, and green and red is something big that people like to wear during the holidays, or people like to show during the holidays, and I notice in a lot of palettes. So this is one you can pick up now. And like I said, if you need to cover up the pretty milkshake, girl, and put a coloring book sticker of, you know, the holidays on the front of it, just for the holidays for you wear, and then take it off when the holidays over, do you, girl. I'm just trying to help you save the coins, okay? Now this one is discontinued, but I feel like, you know, if you're a ColourPop stan, you might still have it in your collection. So this is the Through My Eyes palette from I Love Sarai and ColourPop. This was her, I want to say, 3rd collab. And this was her 2nd collab palette, because her first collab palettes, when they had those little singles that you had to pop into the palettes, that's how long ago it was, child. But this is what it looks like on the inside. And again, it's giving those kind of vibes. I feel like it's really similar to the Oden's Eye Merry Christmas palette. That's the vibe it gives me when I look at it. Now, it's not exact, of course. The shimmers in that one are going to be much more amazing, and since this is kind of old, the mattes in it are going to be better as well. But I Love Sarai, or Karen, did a great job with this palette, and it's giving the Christmas vibe, but you don't look at it as Christmas colors because of the packaging. So sometimes I feel like it's the packaging that tricks us, so I try to remind myself, like, look at the colors, girl. We're not worried about the pictures. Look at the colors, and the colors are definitely giving that. So there you go. Now next month I have a couple of monochromatic palettes, just because I'm like, if you just want to add a pop of color for Christmas time to wear and then keep the rest of it neutral, then you can. So it's like, I have the Berries palette here from Beauty Bay, and as you can see, you got all the reds you can choose from. So girls, just pick a berry tone red or whatever red you like to put on, and use this palette as a Christmas palette, because, you know, it's only for like one day or maybe for like a week. I figure you would be celebrating and need a palette like that. So it's like, it might not necessarily be necessary, and you could just dip into one of your monochromatic palettes and hook it up. Now I wish I had bought another monochromatic palette with me, but that's okay. It's actually here. I'm just too lazy to dig through all the palettes that are here to find it. The next one I have is the earthy palette. Again, like I keep stressing, reds and greens are what I see a lot of people wearing. So it's an all green palette. Go through here and grab you a green and, you know, put it on the lid. Like you might want to do a neutral look, and then your festive color is green, your festive colors is red. Run one of these colors underneath your lower lash line, girl, and you've added to your Christmas look. And you know, there you go. So I wanted to pick this one in particular just because I know there are people that like greens, and if you just like green, it could be everyday like palette for you as well. I don't know, it's up to you, girl. I'm just here trying to help. Next I have Meet Me in the Underworld from Mented Cosmetics. Here's what she looks like on the inside, and as you can see, this is definitely giving holiday vibe because you got, again, you got your greens here, and then you got your reds here. So I mean, like, you could use this, or you could use your Gemini 2 palette if you want to, if you don't own this, and they're gonna give the same vibes. The only thing is that one's more deeper and smokier, and you might not necessarily want that. That's why I picked this one, because it has lighter, brighter tones, and then it has deeper tones too. So you could make the choice if you wanted to do a more smoky-ish green eyes your Christmas look, or if you want to combine the greens and the reds in this palette to make a nice Christmassy look. So okay, y'all, I'm only down to 4 palettes. I swear, it's 4 left, and that's it. So I picked the Wilderness palette from Beauty Bay as well, because you might not have the individual ones that I just showed you. I ended up getting them because they were supposed to have shades from all the different palettes in my collection from Beauty Bay that got discontinued. So then that way I could still use the shades, and if you ask, I could refer you to these palettes. So that's why I have these palettes in addition to the ones I'm showing you. So this is what the Wilderness looks like, and as you can see, the earthy palette is based upon this one, because a lot of shades in here are similar to the earthy palette, but it still gives you the reds. And then you have like some icy blues, because I know some people do blue in during the holiday time. So to me, this is actually a really good holiday palette, because you think about it, you got your reds, you got your greens that people like to use a lot, and then you got like pops of blue. If you like more of an icy Christmas look, you got your pops of blue to make that icy blue smoky eye as your Christmas look. So to me, this one was a perfect holiday palette, because it combines a lot of colors that people like to use during the holiday. Now I did bring a couple of neutral options, just because I'm like, I know everybody doesn't like to use those type of colors, and I know some people use brighter golds and things like that when it comes to the holidays. So I figured I would go ahead and you know, bring this. So I have the brunette palette. Now please remember, I do recreate what is it, Melt palettes, ColourPop palettes, Viseart palettes, and Natasha Denona palette. So this is a Melt palette that I recreated, because like some of the shades in it were too light in my personal opinion. So it has these brighter bronzerish tones, and then like these more warmish honey tones. So I feel like these might be considered appropriate for the holidays, just because, you know, at the end of the day, they are still brighter tones as opposed to like the typical neutral tones, if you will. So I feel like this was a good palette to put in here, but you know, it's up to you all what you think. But that was just my idea for another holiday palette and faking the feel of a holiday palette. So of course, y'all know me, I had to have some luxury and bougie stuff in here. It wasn't just gonna be affordable and, you know, like high end. No, or indie. I had to bring something bougie to the table, because I'm me. So I got the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions eyeshadow palette. This is the first one. Again, I felt like this would be more appropriate for a holiday look, just because it has these kind of brighter, bronzier tones to it that give like the brighter, shinier gold effect, as opposed to the everyday neutrals that people wear with everyday neutral shades. Again, I'm not an expert on neutrals, so I might be wrong, and these are just everyday neutral palettes. I don't know. Y'all know I don't wear neutrals. I've never met her. She doesn't go here. I don't know. So I'm hoping this is right, but I figured this would be good for that, especially because this icy like shade right here, the champagne-ish like white shade. I figure like it could be like resembling of snow, and then you have like your neutral matte that you like to use, and have a bright lid, and that could be considered holiday-esque. And the last one I have is from, of course, Mother. You thought we was gonna do a video and Mother wasn't gonna be in it, child? You must not be on planet Earth, or you must never been to this channel before, because yeah, Mother was going to be here. So we have Mothership 5 Bronze, what is it, Seduction. I got it right this time. I usually can call this one Temptation, and the mini one is Temptation from like the holiday of I think 2019 or something. But yeah, so to me this is definitely a holiday palette. Because of course what it has the reds and it has the greens I've been talking about through this entire video, and then it has some more neutral mattes, and then of course y'all know Mother gonna come through with the bright gold. She gotta have a gold. So to me this was the ultimate Christmas palette for a person who likes neutrals and a person who wants a pop of green and red just for the holidays, because this one is a shifting shade. It shifts to green, and then this one kind of shifts to a pinkish red. Then you have this bright red that you can put on the lid. Then you have all these neutral tones that you want to choose from. So this is the ultimate Christmas palette in my personal opinion, and that's why I saved it for last, because I figured you save the best for last. And this is definitely giving off holiday vibes to me. If you like warm tones, or if you just like these sorts of tones, this is an all year palette. But I feel like this would be perfect for you to dip in during the holidays if you don't want to buy a holiday palette, because it has all the shades that people usually wear during the holidays. So those are all the palettes I had to talk about in this fake the feels everyday palettes that you can use during the holidays. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Make sure you go check out Dr. Ash and her makeup's video, as well as Kara's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.